Was there ever a thought from the government to stop the virus from spreading at all? Or were they like, you know what, at this point, it's out, let it spread?
Well, part of the spreading was caused by the vaccine, no? Because isn't that what shelling is when it allows
Shedding.
I mean, where it allows basically your body is mutating the virus into other what do you call it? Other strains, right? Isn't that what shedding is? And wasn't that happening because of the vaccine?
Yeah, recently Kennedy, did state in terminating these 22 programs that the vaccine, in effect, prolonged the pandemic because the vaccine clearly was non-sterilizing. So if someone took the vaccine, they still could hold the virus in their nose and mouth. They clearly could spread it to other people. And to make matters worse, it forced the virus to mutate to get around the vaccine.
Well, the stories behind how the virus was spread was ridiculous. In the beginning, they said it's airborne. Anybody could get it. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are. Then they talked about droplets. Oh, well, if someone sneezes, coughs, and it lands on a table, on a desk, on a chair, and you touch it and you touch your face, then you can get it. And then at that point, they said, well, if the droplet is there and it's there for a certain amount of time, then the virus dies. It can no longer sustain itself. And then the PPE stuff started coming around where they were like, everybody has to mask up. You need to wear your masks. People were wearing cloth masks, which were totally ridiculous. Surgical masks, again, ridiculous. And the worst part of it was the lack of education and the way people were using these PPEs. They would literally put the mask on, walk into a store, touch a bunch of stuff, and then leave, take the mask off, hang it on their rearview mirror, walk into another store, take that same mask, put it back on, and then walk into the store thinking that, you know what, I'm saving lives, doctor.
There's tremendous virtue signaling. Let me just talk about masks. I'm a cardiologist. I also, as a medical doctor, I go into respiratory isolation, certainly cardiac cath lab, operating room. We wear masks to protect the patient. It's very important. If a surgeon has an open wound and he's operated on the heart, the chest is open, and the surgeon has an uncontrolled sneeze. Have you ever had a sneeze that you can't stop?
Yes.
Right? You can't stop it. The sneeze is coming. There's going to be a blow of snot. Let's face it, it's happening. And the surgeon has an uncontrolled sneeze. All the bacteria in the nose of the surgeon and the mouth is going to blow right into that wound. You're holding the human heart, making it an anastomosis. There's nothing you can do. All those bugs go right into and we're talking about probably a life-threatening infection. And about 25% of us actually have staph in our nose, methicillin-resistant staph.
Really?
Oh, yeah, especially healthcare workers, because you're constantly exposed to this, and you invariably you're going to touch your nose through the course of the day. And so the reason why we wear masks is so we don't super infect the patient. Let me give another example. Influenza. When you're taking care of an elderly patient with influenza in the hospital, influenza is not that terribly contagious. The adult risk of any one of us getting influenza per year is way less than 1%. Like, how many flu tests do you have last year?
Oh, I didn't take any.
How many flu tests do you have the year before that?
None.
The year before that?
I don't remember when was the last time I did a flu test.
What's a flu test?
A test, like a rapid antigen test.
Like a COVID test.
Oh.
Have you ever had one?
COVID test? Yeah.
No, flu test.
Flu test. No, that's why I don't even know what it is.
I've never had a flu test. So I've never had a flu test. So I've never even clinically had the flu. So the chances of any one of us having influenza are low. So the bottom line is, even when someone does have influenza, it doesn't transmit that readily. But if someone's in the hospital, let's say I have grandmother in the hospital from one of your facilities, and they come in and they have influenza. I have 4 drugs I can use to treat it. They're going to get through the viral phase of it. But what's the problem? If someone sneezes or coughs on them, they can get staphylococcal secondary pneumonia. And the staph, and I've treated this in the hospital, when this happens, the staph pneumonia is a killer. It's a killer. And if you read about the Spanish flu, 1918, it's an influenza. But the descriptions of the death, and these were largely men in barracks. Remember, Spanish flu was quite interesting. It hit younger people. And this was in the run-up to World War II.
Yes.
And the descriptions of the men dying of Spanish flu is in the end, they turned blue and pus was flowing out of their nose and mouths. They died of secondary staphylococcal pneumonia. We would never have another Spanish flu epidemic in the United States. Why? Because we have antibiotics. We treat them with, one of our 4 antivirals, and we use antibiotics. I use them all the time. I don't let my patients get secondary staphylococcal pneumonia. So the point is, we wear masks in the hospital to protect the patients, okay, not to protect ourselves. For what happened during the pandemic is suddenly you were told that you're wearing a mask to protect somebody else.
Did you enjoy that clip? Click over here to watch the full episode and click over here to subscribe to the WiseNuts podcast YouTube channel.